first day trading skill tree is what I'm looking at today, and I'm going to analyze it, talk about a video that was released, and take a look at what a day trading skill tree looks like. And the premise is quite simple. It's going to help brand new traders, or if you're already a day trader, pro or non-pro, it's going to help make you better, take you to new heights, etc., etc. You've got a skill tree, and it's got one center node, and you can pick a path that goes up or left or right or down, and they all have different things they can offer you, from say mental analysis training to technical analysis training, or analyzing risk and so forth. All in order to become a better day trader. So, the whole purpose of it is to help people. You pick a node on this skill tree, you launch the node, you watch the lesson, you complete it, and you're on to the next lesson, and you kind of pick your path in creating your day trading future and kind of what you want to do with day trading. Now, spoiler alert, this is from chartraters.com, which is my own software and website, something I created a long time ago and is about to launch to the public. But nevertheless, it's still the world's first day trading skill tree, which is an insanely cool concept. And let's go take a look at it, and we're going to watch a video together. I'm going to mention some things. This is from my other YouTube channel, my Chart Raiders channel. We're going to go through the video together, and anything that I feel like I left out, or any kind of additional content I may want to add to the skill tree video, I'm going to add. And if you want to see the original video, you can go to the chartraters.com YouTube, check out the socials, all that good stuff. But let's just go right into it, watch this video together, and I'm going to pause it from time to time to give some commentary on this to see, maybe I missed some things, or maybe there's extra insight that I can add. I know that guy. Hi, looking pretty handsome there. To talking about the skill tree for Chart Raiders. Now, everybody knows my material on YouTube has been quite popular over the recent years. I have released some of the most advanced and prolific day trading material in the world. And about a year and a half ago, I stopped releasing as many courses. I had been releasing courses for the last 6 years, everything from my beginning. Yeah, I actually remember that day when I decided to stop releasing new content on YouTube. Like, I still release content on YouTube. I still put new videos up. They're just not the educational material that everybody's come accustomed to loving me for. But I remember that day, and I remember saying, like, for the next few years, I'm going to record everything that I'm willing to release for the time being in day trading in terms of material. All the knowledge that I'm willing to share. And I'm going to wait for 2 years to release this stuff to make a huge skill tree out of it. So that was kind of cool, because I remember the day when I said, like, look, I don't want to release this on YouTube anymore. Too many people get lost in the flow of videos on YouTube. I want to create a skill tree that shows people exactly which direction and path to take. Like, if you're on video, I don't know, path number 2, video number 105, you'll know exactly what video you're supposed to go to next. Or if you were somewhere in the middle of your training and you're like, oh man, I need to learn mental analysis stuff because I'm just tilting away and I have a really terrible mindset when it comes to day trading. And it's, then you need to go on to path number 3, which is completely different than what you're on. So, like, I remember the day I stopped and I kind of had like an epiphany saying, like, I got to create a skill tree for this stuff because, like, it's going to help so many people, right? Beginners course to advanced to mental analysis courses to become better day traders. I'm going to skip about a year and a half ago, I stopped uploading so frequently, and I kind of shifted gears a little bit. I started doing more kind of like IRL content curriculum, because for the past year and a half, I actually recorded multiple courses to put up on the skill tree when it comes out. Now, let's talk about the skill tree for a moment, and we're going to get back to that a little bit after the explanation of the skill tree. So the skill tree is something where a year and a half ago said, you want to go see the full video on all this material, and I have students coming from all over the world, brand new students, people who have been in it for years on end, and everybody kind of has this point where they say, I don't know what to train next. They either come in as a brand new student, and the problem with YouTube is that it's just this big, huge video repository. This is something I'm going to stop on and talk about, of course, for a second. And this is true. Like, there's so much bad information out there in day trading and so much wrong information. And, I'm looking on my screen, and I'm not even going to read the names. I'm just analyzing this based on thumbnails. And I don't know who any of these people are. So even the thumbnails, the faces, I don't recognize any of them. And nor do I recognize most of the people in this industry, because I simply don't look. The first thing I see here is like this thumbnail, this guy, 93,000. Who knows? Maybe it's 931,000. I don't know, but it's like 93,800. Okay, the title, How I Made 93,000 Day Trading This One Strategy. This is the exact problem that's wrong with the industry, is this fake kind of narrative that's given to people, and these thumbnails, and this idea that we can just all make insane amounts of money, bang, 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 bang. And I'm not saying this guy didn't make that money. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I have no care either way. But to market material like this for other people is extremely selfish, because you are putting a very negative connotation into the industry that is just so easy. Look at me, I'm smiling, I've got my laptop in my hand, I'm making all this money. And this is just really the wrong message to give to people, because you're kind of insinuating or passively telling them or setting the expectation that they could simply do the same thing. And people see these big numbers and the first thing they think about is, oh, wow, I could afford that car that I've always wanted if I could just follow this thing. So then they go on a multi-month journey that leads them down a dark hole where they do nothing but lose their money because they're trying to follow a strategy, or they see somebody else online doing it. And like, this just leaves such a bad flavor and taste in the day trading industry. And it's so commonly happening. And 99% of the time, again, I'm not saying whoever this person is with this thumbnail here, the $93,000 thumbnail, I'm not saying they're doing this. I have no clue who this is, nor have I seen the video. But 99% of the time, if not closer to 100%, what happens is these people are just trying to get you to sign up to something. They're trying to get you to join a course. They're trying to get you to pay for something. If somebody was making that kind of money, they simply wouldn't go and tell everybody it's so easy. They would tell the world, hey, look, this is tough. I grinded my A off. This is something that I would not recommend anybody do unless they have crazy amounts of willpower and determination. Like, I create day trading material as well, but I never once tell people, oh, you can go make 100K in two days or 3 days or whatever. I show a science and the rest is up to you. If you don't like that, move on, go find some other get rich quick overnight strategy, short-term business model, and go and do your own thing and fail on it and then cry about it, right? Like, it's too much to handle these expectations with people when all you see is thumbnails that show you, I make $100,000 just by doing this own simple thing. Like in the next video here, let's go to the next one. Place where you have massive amounts of video. So you can go to like the next one here, make $150 daily with this simple trading strategy. Now the person might have a simple trading strategy, but again, people are entering this with a very negative connotation and a presumption that they are just going to be able to watch a 16-minute video and all of a sudden they're going to make $150 a day like it's nothing. And this just sets such a bad precedence, such a bad tone, and it's just such a manipulative thing to do for content creators. So I really don't appreciate, content creators going and doing this stuff, because at the end of the day, it's just become like an Amazon marketplace type of setup where you've got everybody in the world trying to do it and nobody's talking about how to do it for real. Nobody's learning like the real core sciences and teaching people how to, have longevity in a career. And that's what my channel has always been devoted to. So like this is a problem that I have with the industry. I've always had it since day one. Everybody knows my opinion on this. I think this is really fake and disingenuous.
Any YouTube channel, and you can look at their videos from that content creator, and you'll just see video after video, and you don't really know where to start. You don't know which material is the right material to learn. You don't know what stuff is curriculum and education and IRL and fun. And even if you do your best job, and I feel like I do a pretty good job of it by making playlists.
Yeah, and see, like this is what my stuff looks like. Like this is the problem that I have, is that you put your face on a thumbnail, you say things like, I make $100, $200, $300, $400, doesn't matter the number. Put your face on a thumbnail, put a day trading chart. I make X amount per day with this simple strategy. That's not real. And if anybody believes that, like, you deserve to lose money. And that's just straight up the truth.
Listen, labeling them, because I have level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You still get students who misinformation. You still get students who are brand new and don't know that they're supposed to start
hopefully
at level
the skill
1.
tree,
you get other
when I
students
release
who
it,
have been gone for maybe 6 months at a time, and they come back and they're like, whoa, what did I miss? And it just kind of creates this, nobody ever really has kind of the perfect path of learning. Now, this has led me to developing what I call the skill tree. Now, the skill tree is a very simple concept that comes from games like Diablo, Path of Exile, World of Warcraft, basically any MMORPG that you can think of, or any action RPG type, where you have this big map of what your character can look like by the end of all your grinding. And it says, if you get a level up, you can go here and there and you can pick all these different skills. And it was quite simply just the amalgamation of that into what we call our skill tree for chart raiders, a map where you can see this is where every user starts. You go to your account panel, you have this middle point where everybody starts, and you can pick the path on what you think you want to train next. And you have this big, beautiful map of all these different lessons to learn regarding day trading, crypto, stocks, Forex, and these different paths are everything from mental analysis to risk analysis. And
we can go back and look at that for a second, the skill tree here, actually. Okay, so let's talk about these brown nodes up top here. So these brown nodes are what it looks like when you have nothing completed on the skill tree. That's how your entire skill tree is going to look. They're all going to be brown nodes when you first boot it up. Now, there's not going to be blue lines that connect them, because those lines actually should all be grayed out. The blue lines illuminate once you've gotten to that lesson. So if you've completed the first 10 lessons, you're going to have 10 blue lines illuminated, and then it's going to stop there at a brown lesson, and the rest of the skill tree is going to be brown. Now, the different color that you see on your screen represents a different type of information. So for example, green here is procedural analysis, and procedural analysis is everything that happens before a trade. So if you wanted to refine yourself and become better
at doing things before trade. So everything, and again, we call this procedural analysis, everything that happens before a trade, you're going to go down this path and you're going to say, hey, I need to refine myself of everything that happens before a trade. And there's a couple of mental analysis nodes here, and then that leads into technical analysis nodes as well. But this path is meant for that. In this path here, you've got a lot of mental analysis stuff in yellow, and the orange is risk assessment. So then, you go further down the skill tree and you see more risk assessment, and the purple here is comparative analysis. And, really, it's really cool because you have these different paths on the skill tree that allow you to go and train certain types of material, right? So it's really neat because you can sit there and say like, oh, I want to get to this point because I think that's a great path for me. And that sounds like where I need to be. Then you can kind of engineer your path. And, as the skill tree grows and builds out, we connect the paths differently. Like, we'll end up connecting this path down into here somewhere in the future. And this branched path will connect over to here and so forth and so forth. But for our first, release version launch, this is what you have this middle point. I need to work on mental analysis. Great. Go down that mental analysis path, pick the lessons you want to learn, and launch the lessons, complete them, light up the node, and move on to the next. So you're going to see the skill tree has a large grayed out map. This means you're a brand new user and you haven't completed any lessons. As you pick the lessons and upgrade your account and get more experience points, you're going to be able to unlock more and more of these nodes. You click a node, you launch it, you watch the video, you complete it, you can unlock and move on to the next node, therefore creating the perfect learning path and creating this massive skill tree that allows users to say, hey, if I want to master day trading, I need to fill. This is pretty cool too. It shows you your progress here on what you're doing. Now, this is a very early version. We've added a ton of features to the future releases, but for now, this is what we're looking at. But don't worry, there's a ton of features added. And, as you complete more of the skill tree, it's going to tell you what margin we recommend you trade. This is more to help users realize that, look, I've just started. Slow down, start with low trading, spot 2x, 3x, 5x. As you go on, you unlock more. So like, at least it helps keep users' expectations aligned. And then you have node information that tells you, exactly what you've learned or not what you've learned, but what you will learn in that lesson. And, you can kind of plan out your path that way by picking nodes, and it tells you the information about that node and so forth. So it really helps you to plan and pick out what you're doing. And then in the future, we have a bunch of features we added. I'm not going to talk about them too much, but I'll mention that we've incorporated AI into it and a bunch of different stuff with coaching and students and inviting teammates and stuff like that. Build this entire thing in and make it look like a Christmas tree. Everything lit up, all the different colors, all the different types, and then I'm going to be a great day trader. So this really is going to help a lot of users hone and perfect their craft in terms of day trading. Now, another great thing is as we continue to add lessons onto this skill tree, you're going to be able to come back at any time and see, hey, these are new lessons. They're grayed out. I remember I left my skill tree completely filled in. Oh, look, there's 20 new grade nodes. Oh, wow, I have 20 new lessons I can learn. They're even more advanced in the stuff I've learned. So throughout the life cycle of chart raiders, you're going to see lots of nodes added. We have about, I would say somewhere between 60 and 100 new videos beyond the YouTube releases that I stopped recording. Now, this goes back to earlier in the video when I said I stopped recording videos to put on YouTube about a year and a half ago. Again, I've still been recording them. I just saved them for the skill tree and chart raiders. Now we have about I would say, 60 to 100 new lessons coming out for chart raiders. Yeah, there's a huge beyond butterfly. It's like 2 years of recording. And multiple courses that are going to help people learn how to become a better. Just so much new material. There's so many new theories and concepts that it's going to take anybody who's a day trader and it's going to catapult them to the next level because this is stuff that the world has never seen before. This is techniques that are so advanced that not a single content creator out there is talking about. The things that I reverse engineered myself and created from scratch and ground up. So anybody who's day trading out there and able to get through the skill tree to the now new content that's being released is going to see things that the world has never seen in day trading. It is going to change fundamentally that's going to be pretty exciting when I release all this stuff. Trade everything from hedge funds and family offices that use my science. Now there are multiple famous hedge funds out there that use the content. TA Science exclusively. There are family offices, there are elite traders, and there's all the users out there in the world who are using my material. And it is going to fundamentally change the way every single category of people, all the way from the level of whale holders to hedge funds, all the way down to singular traders. It is going to change the way everybody looks at the markets. That's how advanced the material coming out is going to be released on chart raiders. And it's a really exciting moment to release the skill tree because this is something I have been working on for years and years and years. And it's going to be coming to our alpha web launch. Now we have multiple different launches that we're putting through. We have the alpha web launch, we have desktop launches, we have beta launches. have a full product launch. You guys can see that, guys and gals. You can see that in other videos on this Chart Raiders channel or on the Cotton channel, my channel.
Yeah, like if you guys want to see more Chart Raiders content, just go over to the Chart Raiders YouTube. If you haven't seen it, like if you haven't been to the Chart Raiders YouTube yet, go to the Chart Raiders YouTube, because like there's all videos about our white paper, Raidcoin, Chart Doctor, all these different things are there. So our soundtrack clips of different parts, releases. Go to Chart Raiders YouTube page and website, and you're gonna see tons of content that we're not.
So
even
make sure you check out the
video.
other videos every season that we go forward in. But we're also adding a lot of really cool features in the future. Now, before we get to those features, let's talk about Chart Doctor for a second. Chart Doctor is not going to be talked about in this video, but it's an interactive quiz platform, another awesome piece of Chart Raiders that I've developed, and you're going to be able to take all this knowledge that you. But
let's go back to the Chart Doctor thing for a second here. So Chart Doctor is really cool because Chart Doctor, where did it go? Chart Doctor has a really unique kind of thing here. You learn your lessons in the skill tree, and then you take it over to Chart Doctor, and you can see just from what we have on our screen, a couple spoilers here. You got a ranking system with a live feed up top here. This is just showing some different rankings, like you see Confused went from 508 to 455, the current points you have in your round, the time remaining, the accuracy that you have, etc. So there's this whole big system built out that once you study the skill tree, time to head over to Chart Doctor and compete against other players for MMR.
Chart Raiders that you win prizes, and you're going to be able to take all this
free to run it
that you've learned in the skill tree,
free to play, and then the leaderboards they have.
So if you haven't seen the Chart Doctor video, go check it out. It's a really cool interactive quiz because it's got all these advanced lessons, and it's a perfect path of progression, a perfect map to make you the perfect trader. But in the future release versions, we're going to have, and I'm not going to get into the details of these because I keep this stuff pretty close-lipped and tight to my chest. And when it's released, people will see what it looks like. It's fully developed and we're working on it day by day right now. But I'm going to just mention a few of the features coming out in the future versions of the skill tree for those of you who made it to the end of this video as kind of a thank you and a reward to say, hey, skill tree, as cool as it is, it's about to get even cooler. We have everything from an AI that's going to help you learn better, where you can type in, hey, what is a hold level? And it's going to be able to go and scan the entire skill tree and say, hey, hold levels are here and there, and they're in this video and that video. So if you went through the entire course, all the skill tree, you how many times it's mentioned in which videos and where to study and which path to take to study to learn origins better. So no matter what topic you're struggling with, you're going to be able to ask our AI how to get better at it. It's going to show you exactly where and how to learn better. You have everything also coming from inviting friends to study with you in what we call a co-op mode, as well as having coaches give you tasks, a huge wiki and note repository system where you can to continue to add more to that skill in the world. And
that's it. I mean, if you guys want to go watch I kind of skipped through the end there, but if you guys want to go watch the full video, go over to the Chart Raiders YouTube channel. But just some final words about the skill tree. The skill tree is something that, years and years ago identified would help people and revolutionize the industry and really start to change things. But, the skill tree alone wasn't enough. So there's a ton of other stuff we got coming out with Chart Raiders. Today, we're just focusing on talking about the skill tree. But in order to create what I have trademarked and called Day Trading 2.0, it was really important to create multiple systems that would help users just as much as a skill tree. So as cool and impressive as a skill tree is, it's only a small fraction of what Chart Raiders is and the features that we have. And it's not even the most exciting feature, although I think people are really going to love it and it's going to catapult them to the next level of their day trading career. It's just one of many things that we were working on at Chart Raiders. So go over to the Chart Raiders YouTube, the socials, all that stuff. Follow that channel, follow this channel if you haven't, and pay attention to our white paper and our Raidcoin launch, because that's coming soon and you definitely don't want to miss that, as it's going to be the opportunity of a lifetime. So see you on the next one. Cheers.